What's the number one question couples ask? In my experience, it has to do with trust. It's normal to wonder if it's even worth it when you're at the beginning of this journey. Trust presents multidimensional challenges. Perhaps you feel it was trust that got you here in the first place, because you didn't even see this coming, and that's natural. What if you had a great marriage, and in your opinion, your spouse was perfect? If they were doing everything right, how could you even tell if they changed and they were trustworthy when they were able to deceive you the other way? And if you're the one who strayed and your mate's struggling with betrayal trauma, will you trust them with the information of what happened? Or are you going to try and control them by the flow of information, which, by the way, certainly isn't going to facilitate trust? If you feel fooled for not seeing what was happening, if you were gaslit, and now you question your own judgment, do you even trust yourself? If you've experienced the pain of betrayal, which I'm afraid many of you watching this may be doing, there's a possibility you may be questioning, why in the world would I ever take the risk of trusting a person that hurt me so much? Years ago, I met Frank Pittman, who was one of the pioneers in the field of infidelity, and I asked Frank if it was even possible to rebuild trust. He immediately responded with, "Rick, you can always replace trust with honesty. It's going to take time for trust to be rebuilt, but honesty is what will provide the safety for healing." This past August, Fair Recovery reran a survey done by Peggy Vaughn back in 2002 to see if things had changed over the past, 22 years. Two things about trust became very clear. Only 4.4% of couples who discussed the situation a whole lot got divorced. But 59% reported that, yes, trust was beginning to be rebuilt because they were able to talk about it. When the wayward spouse answered questions, 25% of the respondents were still guarded and didn't have much trust, but 75% reported that trust was again being rebuilt. So the answer to, is it possible to trust again? It's yes, but as Frank says, it does begin with honesty. For the betrayed partner feeling safe again, it's paramount. You have to know their safety, and that lays at the feet of the wayward spouse who's willing to make you safe as we begin this process. I mean, honestly, it takes both of you in the long run, but to begin, it certainly is at the wayward spouse to begin to heal that breach and create safety. The wayward spouse has to work to assure you that they're stopping those actions, that they're going to be trustworthy. And it's crucial to understand that rebuilding trust, it's not a sprint. It's going to be a marathon. Without mutual understanding of the problem, it's really hard to reestablish trust. Both partners need to be on the same page about what's happened, why it happened, and what needs to change moving forward so that we can have a better marriage than before. And obviously, rebuilding trust, it's hard. There are going to be setbacks and lots of conversations, but with patience and commitment, progress is possible. And without a vision, an understanding, seeing others who've done this, that there's a possibility for a better future, trust won't be reestablished. The two of you have to develop a shared vision of healing and a willingness to work towards that future, even when it's challenging. The wayward spouse certainly needs to show they understand the pain they've caused and grieve over what they've done. And the betrayed partner needs to hold on to a sliver of hope. I think for Steph and I, one of the most helpful things in reestablishing our relationship and reestablishing trust was seeing others who had done that and who had relationships that we literally envied. They gave us a shared vision that healing was possible and that we could work toward a different future, even though it was challenging, and it motivated us. Rebuilding trust after infidelity, it's really hard. And it requires immense courage and vulnerability and commitment from both of you. If you find others on this journey with you, who can help show the way, that's going to be really helpful. It was for that reason we actually developed the EMS online course and the EMS weekend course. Because we found when you're with other people who are traveling the same journey and setting examples of what health looks like, that's about the most helpful thing you can do. So register for EMS Online or EMS Weekend and find the help you need to begin regenerating and rebuilding trust and a safe future for both of you. To healing.